Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer. In today's episode of Midlands to London, we're going to be building Smethwick Galton Bridge railway station, and possibly we're going to be building Wolverhampton North Junction as well. I said I'd do that as a time lapse, but I think as the last episode had to accidentally be a time lapse, that we should build that junction. I think we should be able to get both of those done in this episode. The junction itself, Wolverhampton North Junction, isn't actually as complicated as I first thought. It's reasonably complicated, but no more complicated than junctions we've built previously. In the last episode, we built Wolverhampton Station. We've got Virgin trains pulling into here now, and I've got some Central trains pulling as well, which will eventually be the Shrewsbury to Birmingham New Street Station as a 170 pulls in. I think they should be the right trains for this time period. Although having said that, I think 170s are they still operating with West Midlands Railway? So yeah, I'm pretty sure the Central train's still around this time, and eventually about 2007 it switches to London Midland when things start to change a little bit. I think the Central trains franchise gets split up, does it? Possibly, as we have on autosave already. So yeah, we've got Central trains, Virgin trains. We will eventually have Wales and Borders trains. Obviously, eventually they'll be Transport for Wales, Arriva Trains Wales. Not sure what they would be in this time period. And we'll have a few, obviously, London Midland services as well, which will be another Central train service because that goes to Liverpool. I think it's all very confusing, not very good when it comes to I'd say pre-2007, 2008 franchises. So there we are. That's Wolverhampton railway station. Did a little bit off camera with some walls and things like that just to try and make it look a little bit better. And yeah, that's it really. Just need to do a little bit more work around the station itself. So that's going to be Birmingham, Wolverhampton North Junction eventually. That goes off there, and then we've come down towards Birmingham, and then we have a piece of track here which is a depot which I just had for just chucking on a few of the Central trains, and obviously the Virgin trains one was just a extension. So I've already marked out where the station was going to be. I'm going to have to pause the game because we need to demolish the track that I've just built this off camera, just literally so I could get some trains in place. Now this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. I don't know what this is going to look like when it's finished, if I'm honest, because it is quite complicated. So electric, high speed, 160. No, we want to be on an L, thank you very much. So high speed catenary, yes. 120, probably sure. Where's the Central trains train? Let's just take a look. Yeah, maybe if we make it 160. No, that just seems a little bit too long. I'm just thinking about having like a 6-car train eventually, so maybe I think if we do 120 with an extra segment, that should be enough for a 6-car train. I'm not sure if there are many 6-car units on this service. I don't think any of the other will there be a cross-country service? Yes, there will, because that comes from Stafford. No, they don't. Cross-country services don't stop at Smethwick low level, I don't think. So yeah, we'll get that built, get some platforms. So what did I say? I said that with an extra segment, and that should be long enough for a 6-car train, should we ever need to put 6-car trains on this route. And then back to platforms, and then just 4 segments down there. Now the station itself isn't particularly complicated. I couldn't see any like benches or anything really on the station. I think I have visited low level once a few years ago. Can't really remember much about it. And then we need a new building. So that's it. That's not it. We need some MISC things. Yes, those things. So let's just go for step. Where are no, it's in passenger buildings, isn't it? So the NL steps, that one. And then I think I'll just chuck on a couple of steps either side, obviously, because we can't replicate like Smethwick Galton Bridge, these high level, low level sorts of stations which are like right on top of each other like we did with Tamworth and Lichfield. We can't really replicate them, so what we have to do is put some steps in, just like so. And then what I need to do first of all is just flatten off this terrain. I just want all the land level with the steps for now. So yeah, the station itself isn't particularly complicated. It's what's got to happen with the roads is going to be particularly complicated, because the first time around I built this, I really didn't pay that much attention to it. I just kind of built the high level, low level platforms, but this time I want to be a little bit more accurate. So we're going to buildings. It is one of these elevated. Is that the usual one I use? Is it 160, 120? I think I'll go 120. Track 2, high speed tracks, catenary, yes. platform height, no, actual pillars, normal, and height, we'll go something like that. And then, yeah, that's fine. So this is, it's roughly kind of halfway in the middle, and luckily the pillars are adjusting themselves as I try to put it in place, which is good. It seems to be smack bang right on the end of the low level platform, something a bit like that. And then let's just get to configuring this. So we want elevated NL overpass, nope, elevated passenger building right to the end, is it? No, elevated platforms, elevated track, miss. What I'm looking for is the railing. First of all, we'll chuck that along there, because otherwise it just looks a little bit sketchy without the railings. Now that is, actually let's just take a quick look, because can I make this lower? So what height? So we've got 10 meters collision. Right, let's just get rid of that for now. Let's see if it'll let me. It is just about letting me put a 10 meter on. The only reason is because we've got to do some things with roads and the height of the terrain and stuff like that. So I'm just going to chuck that on there. That's fine. Let's just take a look. Yeah, the catenary is just about touching it, but I think I'm gonna live with that. And this shouldn't have catenary, I don't think. Let's try that one more time for good luck. So passenger building, spaced, catenary, no, just raise that up. Maybe two bits. So I don't want a pillar on the actual station. Let's just take a look at this position, make sure the pillars aren't colliding with anything, and that looks all right. Yeah, this line isn't actually electrified, is it? Right, so let's get back to configuring this with the railings first of all, because I always forget about them. Yeah, it'd be a little bit unsafe if there wasn't any railings. And then we can go to the elevated passenger buildings, and then no, that's just an area. One of these platform lifts. No, I don't want a clock. No, you want to be inside. Yeah, if I do that, and then I think I might have to do one on this side as well, just because obviously, or do I? Yes, I do, and on this side as well. Right, let's, oh no, that's colliding. Chuck that on there. I don't really want the clock, but it's not the end of the world, is it? Does it really matter? No, it just looks a little bit daft, I think, with the clock. So if I just put that in there, is it? Or are these a bit more accurate? That does have a clock on it. Yeah, you can spin these round, and it shouldn't matter too much. So yeah, we're going to have to put one on this side as well, and another one of these on this side, in order for passengers to be able to get up and down onto all of the 4 platforms. So let's just put that in there. So far so good. Now this will have to be connected up with Pavement, with the Pavement mod, but I'm just going to leave that for now because we've got other things to be doing, which is going to be quite interesting. So let's just get rid of some of this track and then just refer to Google Maps. Yeah, so the actual station itself does seem to be in almost like a cutting of some description. Track, that one, no catenary for the high level ones, for the ones that go off towards Snow Hill. I think we'll just have that straight for now. On an embankment, just raise that up a little bit. Just have it going straight for now, like so, and then another little bit coming off here, just straight. I think we need to be probably pointing downwards again, just nice and straight, just to make things straightforward to begin with. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to take a lot of work off camera, I think, to make this look anyway half decent. But I think the big thing with this is the roads. So we want the Oldbury Road, which is the thing that makes this like a more complicated build. So first of all, I think we need to level the ground off. It's just going to make it is going to make it look hideously ugly for the time being, but it just helps us set our heights for the roads which go above the railways. Yeah, because I'll just come in and do a lot of smoothing, and this won't look as hideous as it does now, like that, and then just maybe smooth those little bits off there. I will leave that in a big crevasse for now, and then what we want to do is chuck a couple of bridges. So yeah, it's almost like I'm procrastinating a little bit because I'm just trying to figure all of this out in my head. So what I want this bridge to be as low as physically possible, something a bit like that. So I'm not sure what type of bridge. Actually, I haven't said that. It might look like a concrete bridge, possibly. So I'll just chuck that in there with nothing either side. For now, just chuck that in, leave it as is, and then we want a little bit of road coming off and then just go in. Actually, no. What we're going to do, yeah, bit of road to about here. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Just chuck it in. Not messing about. I'm just trying to figure this all out in my head. Right, and you want to go off somewhere on an embankment as well. Right, yeah, and then get this into there in a cutting like so. Good thing. Right, next thing is we want another road. I think we'll just have this. Oh no, this is right. So we've got, first of all, this bit of road that wants to come across. Now I think I'll have to. Yeah, no, it's all right. I'll just chuck the road in straight across. No, don't be doing ugly things. Just flat bit of road straight across on a bit of an angle. And I think you might be possibly another concrete bridge. We'll give it a go. Something like that. That is Telford Way, apparently. So we'll chuck that in there, I think. But having said that, there is actually a roundabout. So I think get rid of that and flatten this off. Get rid of this little bit of road. I think if I'm going to do it, I should do it right, shouldn't I? I know I'm not really paying huge attention to the roads, but I guess because of the way things are, it is a bit of a feature of this particular area. So because we've got a junction to build here which basically goes right underneath the roundabout, so we need to get this right. Basically street construction, roundabout, 2 lanes, maybe a little bit bigger, and then just chuck that straight on there like so, and then we'll just get this road hooked back up to that little bit. So street construction on an embankment straight into the roundabout like so. We'll use some standard street I think for the roundabout, and then we'll just see if we can chuck this bit of road straight across this railway here. Hopefully. Too much slope, yeah, because stop doing things, just stay on the flat. I hate it when it does that. It just does like a little like that thing. Don't know why it does that sometimes. It's really annoying. Perhaps if I delete the track and then just flatten the terrain a bit, it should still generate a bridge. No, still trying to do that. That's frustrating. Right, track in. That will have to be electrified in a minute. Flatten the terrain off and then road. Just right, if we do a little bit of a stub, set the height first and then drag it across. What's that done? That's looking good. Right, let's get this bridge constructed. That one, cement bridge, concrete bridge. Right, and then this goes off and then eventually crosses the that city line or whatever it is. What's the line called? A little bit of road going off there, a little bit more coming off here like so, and then we've got this bit to build. So let's build. Actually, I think I want this to come down a little bit quicker. I don't have it coming down quite quickly, is it? No, that looks all right actually. Just making sure there's no sharp angle coming off of the station, which there doesn't appear to be. No, that's all good. And then just have this coming down like that. So next bit is getting this junction in. So it wants to go immediately under the roundabout. Let's just see if I can do this as the crow flies, which I can. And I think the only thing is this junction's probably going to look a little bit rubbish. It is. So what we'll have to do is just bring this back. No, it needs to be coming down. Just going to have to eyeball it, I think. Just make sure we get the heights right. Chuck that in there and then another little bit into their collision. Right, so if I come off here and then build a little stub of a junction completely flat, or flush rather, with the existing track. Maybe if we can just move it in a little bit more, something a bit like, I'm not sure what actually uses this junction, but as it exists we should build it, and then that just looks a little bit rubbish. So let's see if we can make that look a little bit better. Yeah, not hugely concerned about the speed of this. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. So let's get this track curving. Oh no, I want a bit more speed please. 70, that's a bit better like so. That's all good. And then we just want a bit of a bridge. So 1, 2 straight across there. I think we'll just stick with this concrete bridge, should we? Perhaps let's just go with the pillarless version then. Yeah, something a bit like that. Get that hooked up. Maybe if I delete that back a bit. Get this hooked up to that one there, and then have that going off somewhere. Not sure where. I guess it's something I could probably do with researching. Let's just keep it a bit like that for now. It does look like it has to interact with another track at some point. That's all good. That's all done. Get that track connected up to there with catenary and that one. And then that's all connected up. Make sure this is electrified. I think what I'll do is I'll just electrify a little tiny bit of this cord here, just obviously so we don't, although we have got masts hanging in the air. That's not electrified, that's all fine. And then signals, we'll just chuck a couple of signals, so we'll have one on there and then one on there, which needs to be one way. And then I think I will chuck another signal there, or should I? No, we won't. Yeah, usually I have a signal either side of the station. I know you don't have to because a station acts like a block section, but if a train's not stopping there, it doesn't see the station as a block section, if that makes sense. but obviously it needs to be, the block section in this particular instance needs to be long enough for a thingy-bob, but we need to build this junction, you know, for a thingy-bob, you know, or a virgin service basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's get some tracks in. Catenary, yes. Let's just do the same. Build collision. If I put a signal in? Nope. A little bit of track, stub, nice and level, same again. And then can I get that hooked up to that tunnel? I can. Good. Right. Is that junction looking alright? It's looking acceptable. Right, so let's start what we were doing. So signals, we'll have one there, one way, yes. Auto sig, no. And then we'll have one there. And I guess we should have one here as well. And then we'll repeat the same on this side. So signal there, signal there, signal there. Good. Yeah. You know what I mean? By it looking a huge mess at the minute. See, this probably wants to go to Birmingham, doesn't it? This road. So I think we'll just continue it off. No, on an embankment. Yeah, because one of the things I was saying in the last episode, but obviously it was a time lapse, so you didn't hear me saying it because I hadn't turned the microphone on, was that basically from Wolverhampton to Birmingham, I know they're two distinct places. I know if you call someone from Wolverhampton, someone, you know, a Brummie, then they're not going to be very happy with you at all. It's like people calling me a Scouser, even though I live miles away from Liverpool. But basically, it just seems to be one big urban area from Birmingham to Wolverhampton and even perhaps towards Walsall. So I don't know quite how I'm going to replicate that, because obviously I can't have loads of cities along here. It's just going to completely kill my computer. But it would be nice to make it look like one big urban area, so I will have to have a little bit of a think about that. So we've got this road. Doesn't really need to be a dual carriageway all the way. I think what I'll do is I'll have it as just like a country road, high-speed country road connecting up Birmingham to Wolverhampton. And obviously we've got to have the metro in there as well at some stage, so that'll change things a little bit, because where's the metro is actually over here, isn't it? So let's just get this connected up. Player ownership, I'm owning everything. It doesn't really matter. Don't really have to own. Oh, that was a little bit scary. Let's just quickly save the game. Right, so what was I doing before it looked like it was almost going to crash? Just taking the player ownership off of the road is what I was doing there. And the same here as well. I don't really have to own any of these roads, I don't think. Game doesn't appear to really interfere with dual carriageways when you build them. It's just country roads. It likes to convert to standard roads sometimes. So that's all connected up. That's all good. I think just a little bit of smoothing. I don't think we're going to get Wolverhampton North Junction built, like I said, unfortunately, because this was a little bit more complicated than I anticipated. Okay, I've just done a little bit of smoothing there. I think the last thing I need to do though is all of this. So I've got the pavement mod, which is just really cool actually. Just a little bit of pavement along there. I mean, the actual station itself doesn't really appear to be connected to it's got a pavement connection to the road, but like there's no car park or anything as far as I can see. I think the actual purpose of the station is more of an interchange than anything else. So that's like the main reason for the stations being, basically. So we'll get that connected up to there. That connected up somewhere. Come on, just know what you're doing. I'm gonna delete the pavement. I don't want to delete the station. Kind of just got a little bit of pavement connection going on there. There's loads of tendrils being produced, which is good. So we'll just chuck that on there. Doesn't have to be particularly attractive. It's just literally a way of getting passengers from the low level to the high level. And as long as tendrils are being generated, then, you know, it's fine, basically. Although it does look a little bit ugly, doesn't it? Yeah, I think we'll just have to live with that, and then I'll just re-smooth that off a little bit. Come in with the paintbrush. So yeah, I think Wolverhampton North Junction is probably going to have to be a time-lapse, unfortunately. And the other thing with these pavements as well, actually, they are good for if you're trying to flatten off an area, you know, if you get strange creases and things like that. I know I've got loads of strange creases going along here, but you can actually manipulate the terrain and adapt the terrain with these pavements, as well as them connecting areas together. So it's just another handy little use for them. I think in this particular instance, we're just going to have to live with a little bit of ugliness. I don't know why that's so. I know we're a little bit higher there, aren't we? But shouldn't really be massively up in there. I just wish there's a bit more zoom available as well. That would be nice. And let's try and just get this in there and then that across there. That might look a little bit better. But the main thing is that we've got the high level and low level access that we need. Yeah, it does look a little bit rubbish. I will do some work, I think, to make that look a little bit better if I can. But yeah, Wolverhampton North Junction will have to be a time lapse, I think. But the last thing is Birmingham New Street, as we have another autosave. I haven't even renamed the station. Birmingham New Street to that one, and then Wolverhampton coming back. Don't really need anyone to stop at this station just yet, but we may as well have that service in place. So this is Smethwick Galton Bridge low level, and then this one obviously Smethwick Galton Bridge HL high level, like so. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could make these things look a little bit better with like the high level low level thing going on, but yeah, that will do. It's about the interchange kind of possibilities that we've got going on there. It's all fine. Is that block section? What are you? Are you a Virgin train? No, you're a Central train. Have I got a Virgin train approaching? Don't want you there either. Actually, I guess I could just use my standard measuring tool, couldn't I, which is one of them. Yeah, so that block section is 240 meters. That's fine. That's all good. That's 240. That's probably a little bit longer than it needs to be. Let's just chuck one of them in there, because I do like to have stacking capacity, especially on a section like this, which really is capacity constrained. I think this section of track really should be 4-track in real life, because it does get exceptionally busy, and with you've got kind of the non-stopping services like the Virgins and the cross countries, and then you've got the stopping services. And the London Midland, do all of the London Midland services, London North Western Railway services stop at Smethwick Galton Bridge, as well as the central or locals, the London North Western Railway Liverpool to Birmingham service. Does that stop? That's what I'm trying to say. And then obviously you've got your Shrewsbury, which probably definitely does, and I'm not sure about the Wales service as well, if that stops at Smethwick Galton Bridge low level. But that's all looking fine. Yeah, good. That's built. Great. So we'll leave it there. Leave you with this pretty shocking looking construction, which hopefully will look a little bit better the next time you see it. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Say until next time. Bye bye.